Oh my gosh, what a fight. Did you guys see that fight? Incredible, just absolutely incredible for none other than Charles Oliveira. Man, man, oh man. I uh I felt bad for Max Holloway, honestly. He was just outclassed and Charles Oliveira is just so strong. He's like he's getting in that weight class, but he looked so dehydrated. Did you see him before the fight? That was just so wild. What did he actually weigh in at? Weigh in versus Max Holloway. Like he wonder what he walks around at. So Charles Olivier weighed in at 156 pounds. Man, what's his height? He is 5'10". Okay, he looks much taller than that, but man, he looked just absolutely dehydrated. Unreal. So unreal. That was absolutely wild. Um, and Max Holloway says he wants a rematch. Man, just take the L and don't take any more damage because that was bad, man. That was really, really bad. He had that little mouse on the side of his head. He was like in absolute pain. Just absolute pain. That was. What do you guys think, man? He should definitely not rematch that dude because he was just outclassed. Outclassed. Man. And they're both good people, you know, like you look at Max Holloway, he never says anything bad about people. He's just so happy and so motivational and oh, I think this is it right here. Yeah. Charles Olivier, he is like look at his cheeks, man. I guess the same for Max Holloway, but it was like no comparison. Max Holloway is a great guy, strong guy, but not as strong as Oliveira. He was just picking him up and doing what he wanted with him. I think Max had some strong strikes against him. You know, he hit his face really well and did those types of things, but I don't know what his coaches were telling him, you know, like stay in the middle. What do you mean stay in the middle so you can get grabbed? I think the only chance Max Holloway had to beat Charles Oliveira if he was running, strike and run, and not let Charles Oliveira touch him. Like there was, once he got his hands on him, he just demolished him and held him and pinned him. And his grappling is just unreal. And not to take anything away from Max Holloway, but he was just on another level. And I felt really bad for Max because I didn't want to see him get hurt. But I like both of these competitors. These athletes are just absolutely incredible. Yeah, but he should definitely not try to do a rematch, man. Not at all.
Followed up with another jab.
So he had a few hits there, which is, you know, that's good. But is it good enough? Not necessarily, man. Not necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't want to see those guys hurt each other too much.
Nice combo by Max. Charles on the hunt.
Man, he's just like bulldozing, beating up so much, you know, like grabbing a hold of him and not really letting Max perform or play his game, which is really smart. You know, Max was calling like for the center of the ring, like, yeah, let's do that. The BMF title's on the line. But Charles Olivier, he didn't even give him a chance to fight his fight. Do you see how easy he picked him up? So this is all within seconds. So we're at 5 seconds. All right, so in about 7 seconds, he doesn't have his hand around him yet. 7 seconds, he grabbed him for 1 second, picked him up, man. It's just like, it's not fair, man, for Max Holloway. And Charles Olivier just is too strong, and he was ragdolling him. And he kind of made the division he just demolished Max Holloway, man. And that's so unfortunate. What's the rankings of these guys? Max Holloway's ranked number 4. Olivier is ranked number 3. Like, if they're that close in ranking, Charles Olivier shouldn't be able to do that to him, man. And that was pretty much how the whole fight was. Max Holloway was on his back or getting smothered and elbowed and hit, and some of those hits were pretty bad. Very, very bad. But I'm happy that Herb Dean is laying down the law. There was a cup hit, and he gave him a warning. Second cup hit, took off a point. Then there was a third cup hit and took off 2 points. So one of the competitors lost because of that. And, you know, that's a little bit better. Like, you have to kind of lay down the law because these athletes, man, if there's no deterrent, what's going to stop them from continuing to foul or eye poke? And yeah, they put IC Justin Gaethje there, and they're like looking at him. I was like, what does IC actually stand for? Like, incredible cheater with how many eye pokes he does? It's interesting. It's interesting. I was like, and he was throwing punches at the camera. I was like, well, what are you throwing punches for, man? You got to throw your fingers, be realistic. Wonder how many punches versus finger throws he throws per fight. That'd be an interesting stat. Yeah, man. That was so brutal. Just so brutal. Yeah, it was more of like if you like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or wrestling, I think you would be entertained. If you like the stand up and strike, it's not really. That wasn't the type of fight for that.
Up with another jab. Nice.
And Olivier had some leg kicks, man. Some
combo by Max.
That's the same one, man. He just picks him up and throws him on the floor. It's like constant. And I wonder what people are going to say about this.
The pride of Hawaii.
I saw Max Holloway on like the second or third round, like getting ready, and it looked like he was just defeated. Like, he didn't have an answer, and his coaches have to kind of give him something to play with, like show him what's wrong and where he's losing and try not to lose. Or maybe they didn't see it in the moment, but you got to see that stuff. Especially if you're a coach, you have to be agile. You have to be able to change your mind immediately. Like, hey, we're going with game plan A. If the game plan A doesn't work, go with B. You got to have like C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, the whole alphabet of game plans. And that's something to think about, and that's something I want to encourage for everybody, and for you, like, have plans, have good plans for your life. That's what makes you a planner versus just someone who's going with the flow and the wind. Yeah, it was pretty cool that he brought his whole family up after the fight, though. That was nice. But I did not know it was going to go that way at all. Had no idea. And that was quite a fight. These guys had a pretty good fight too, as well. Boraljo versus RDR, Renier de Ridder. Again, it was a close fight. Boraljo won, but I think that I think that this guy was he was just moving so slow, like he was dehydrated or something, but he had like this awkward style and he landed a lot of shots, which was surprising. I was like, oh man, very good, very good. Especially versus those guys, man. Those fight nerds are very, very dangerous. And Max Holloway was kind of showboating here and, you know, kind of being entertaining for the camera, you know, raising his eyebrows, hitting the guy. But I don't know. That's, you don't want to showboat against Olivier because Oliveira, he was definitely just bringing the damage. Which round is this? Yeah, so Max tried to turn that throw on him, and then Oliveira was like, "No, man, no. This is my arena."
Wow. Mid-air adjustment by
He's like, "You're a guest, and you need to obey my rules in my arena." It was like a mismatch, and Max Holloway took too many hits, man. Too many elbows, too much damage, way too much damage. I think this is the last round where yeah, so this is the last round after Max Holloway was, you know, getting beat to shreds, and he's like, yeah, let's throw down. And credit to Oliveira and his team. They're like, yeah, you can throw with him, but like be safe with it. So he started with a kick and threw some punches and you know, that front kick. And you can see Max is so angry here. He's just so mad, and Oliveira is just so happy. That's just like part of what happens there. And unfortunate, but yeah. Okay, so this Drew Dauber fight versus Johnson was incredible. Incredible.
leaked a little bit.
Man, this guy is strong. He's someone, you know, if he stays consistent and he keeps up with his training, his diet, his nutrition, he's going to be extremely dangerous in the future.
Dauber closes the show yet again. Oh!
And look at that respect. Like right after, he goes back to his side and he kind of bows. And that's what like a real MMA person should do. Here we go, another highlight of what happened.
That this dude is doing right now.
One straight right, man. That's all that's needed. And this guy was like done for. Gregory MMA only needs one punch to earn the knockout. Absolutely.
Oh, he does look mad. I hope this leads to like them.
All right, so this is after like the second growing kick. And here's Herb Dean. Herb Dean already took away 2 points from his opponent. He's so angry. Like when you saw this moment, it was just like incredibly intense. And you'll see what happens.
He's yelling at him. No, Herb Dean's going to take a point. Just wait for it.
Okay, so they didn't show, but he was definitely not playing fair, this guy, versus Mr. Garbrandt. Yeah. So they basically went after each other, and then Garbrandt was looking to KO him like Masvidal did to Ben Askren, just like a flying knee. He was just so aggressive, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, everyone was getting hyped because everyone saw like what this guy was doing, just cheating, fouling. So yeah, man, that's an unfortunate, man, but libertine. Let's do a little bit of working on our English. A libertine is, in broad terms, a person who is unrestrained by convention or morality. More narrowly, the word describes someone who leads an immoral life. Would you consider the man who cheats a libertine? And is that something that you can use in your everyday life? A libertine. Here's libertine in context. As horrifying as some of the sins of Victorian scholarship may have been, it would have been anathema to the students of classical philosophy to simply throw out Plato. But that's what some of their modern inheritors have tried to do. It's worth noting that we might not have Plato's work at all, were it not carefully studied and preserved. Did you know I only asked to be free, says Mr. Skimpole in Charles Dickinson's Bleak House. Okay. Middle English speakers used libertine to refer to a freedman, but by the late 1500s, its meaning was extended to free thinkers, both religious and secular, and it later came to imply that an individual was a little too unrestrained, especially in moral affairs. The likely Latin root of libertine is liber, the ultimate source of our word liberty. But is there really a liberty if someone is unethical? Do they take other people's liberty? The law was not intended to be enforced against whites, but had the clear intent to restrict the civil rights of freedmen. All right. So a freed man is a person freed from slavery. And Middle English speakers used libertine to refer to a freed man. Interesting, interesting. Now, let's see if we can find the etymology of libertine. Freedman, emancipated slave. All right. Condition of a freedman, member of a class of freed men. One's freedom, emancipated person. The sense of free thinker is recorded by 1560s from French libertine, originally the name given to certain pantheistic Protestant sects in France and the Low Countries. The sense partakes more of liberty and liberal than of the classical meaning. Saracen slave converted to Christianity. The meaning dissolute or licentious person man gives to an indulgence of lust. The darkening meaning behind being perhaps due to a misunderstanding of Latin libertinus. All right. So entries linking to libertine. So we have liberal, liberty. More to explore. Let's stay on that one. Okay, liberal. Generous. Also nobly born, noble free. Selfless. This is kind of weird how like a word that can mean freedom, liberty, liberal, selfless goes into a person who is unrestrained by morality. Very, very interesting. So you're selfless if you're a liberal in the definitive sense, but if you're a libertine, you don't follow. You're not constrained. You're not restrained by convention or morality. Very, very interesting. All right. All right, so why are some of the comedy movies of the past so much better than they are now? That's a really great question.
Dumb and Dumber.
So Dumb and Dumber is arguably one of the greats, one of the greatest comedy films ever. And at this time, Jim Carrey was just like the biggest movie dude around. And we'll see what Jeff Daniels has to say about this.
Was a strategic career move because I knew I could do comedy, and up to that point, Purple Rose of Cairo, Something Wild, I'd kind of shown I could do it, but I wasn't a comedian, so therefore I wasn't allowed to do big comedy movies. This was, no, I can do comedy. Let me stand next to Jim Carrey, one of the best at it. He had Ace Ventura had been out and been a hit, and he had already just shot Mask.
Ace Ventura, hilarious movie. Hilarious movie. One of the funniest.
Hollywood knew that Jim was about to explode. His next movie was going to be Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my word, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Did you see McGregor say, "We in the UFC are all cattle. I just happen to be..." F word, Wagyu. He doesn't miss, bro. I did not see that. Please send me a link. That is hilarious, bro. Thank you for the comment. Oh my word, you are a legend, buddy. Oh my gosh, dude. That is hilarious. All right, yeah, we got to look that up, dude. Conor McGregor reacts to Conor Ben's $15 million signing. How much do you think the Mac is worth? Here, let me pull up my chat over here so I don't miss this. Bro, that's hilarious, dude. I can't believe you found. Thanks for the chat. That is hilarious. I need to see this. Let me see my chat, people. Come on. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm excited to hear this one. Okay, all right. I pulled it up so I can easier see the chat. Very cool, very cool. Awesome. Let's see what Connor says. How much do you think the Mac is worth? All right. Is there a video of that, or did he just say it in writing? And for some reason, I feel like this is probably going to be hilarious. Let's read the quotes. This has to be pretty good. I was up for the White House, McGregor told Smashcast. I know the administration was strong for me to be at the White House. It was McGregor versus Chandler. The story was built in. Chandler is a stand-up guy. He's electric in the cage. He comes to bring it. I'm the Mac. I'll fly through the air on an opponent like Chandler. It would have been dynamite as far as a fight. Somewhere down the line, not me ever saying no or not enough money or nothing. Just maybe we're going to go with you for International Fight Week. Okay, no problem. Maybe we're going to leave Chandler. I do like Chandler. I might have been preparing for him for the last 2 years. I feel a bit weird. He deserves to go after the waiting. You know, if it would be a great fight, it makes sense. It's easy done. It gets me back in there. But if they're off it, I'm not going to be too picky. I have to get back. I'm eager to get back. So, okay, sorry, Chandler. It is what it is. Maybe that's not the part. Is that the one? Oh, it was on Chael's podcast today. Oh, nice, dude. All right, let's see. Chael Sonnen podcast, McGregor. Highlights. Maybe it's not clipped yet, dude. Chael Sonnen has a great podcast. He's a great storyteller. He had something with Joey Diaz, and he told Joe Rogan about it, and that just made me laugh, dude. I went on like a little Joey Diaz 5 or 6 minute thing, and yeah, Joey Diaz is so wild. Okay, he changed his mind on Connor. Latest videos, podcast. McGregor. Three days ago? No. Let's see. Chael Sonnen podcast, McGregor. Was McGregor actually a guest on Chael Sonnen's podcast, or? Updated today. Fan Q&A. It's interesting how he has this all organized in a way. All right, this is probably the clip.
Okay, well, we're going to offer you this.
Is my camera off? Is my camera not working? Let's see. Tech issues. What's happening, y'all? All right, let me fix my camera 1 sec. Camera not working? Still not working. Come on, camera. What you doing? Nope. Okay, there we go. The old trick, to unplug, the plug back in. All right, it's back. It's good. Oh, man. Cool. All right, that works. Dude, I'm so excited to see what Connor says. This guy is just hilarious, man. Dude, if you're too lazy to do ab workouts, just watch a Conor McGregor thingy McThingy, and he'll make you laugh. Okay. Yeah, so if I'm like not in view or whatever, just light up the comments so I can see where I'm faulty. Cool.
Opponent, yes, no problem, I accept. Day after day after day. Send the contract. Excellent. It's a great matchup. No contract came. Our promoters and our matchmakers are caught up in so much drama. Even if they thought they were going to bring me through the ringer, maybe my contract negotiation is up. Maybe it's my time to see, can they get me done in and offer me some sort of no-name that they think is going to be a tough fight. No problem. Send the contract. Yes, yes. Day 15 of saying, I accept, send the contract. No such contract. So here I am just waiting. Please, God willing. Okay, well, we're going to offer you this.
Yeah. Connor just wants a contract, man. All right. That was not the clip. Recently uploaded. Yeah, I want to see that clip, man. If you can find it and then text it to me or send it to my Instagram. Here, I'll type in my Instagram handle right now. Yeah, man. I'd love to see that clip. Let me show you that Chael Sonnen and Joey Diaz story. That thing is hilarious, dude.
Sure, I agree with you. Can I switch gears?
Yeah.
I got to ask you about
Fuck
something.
yeah. Ask me about anything.
Joey Diaz. Tell me everything. How did you meet Joey Diaz? Because then I want you to ask me this. I want you to ask me what my experience with Joey. But how did you meet him? How did he come into the fold?
I met Joey Diaz in the late 90s at the Comedy Store. I think I met him in like 96 or 97, something like that. Right when Joey moved to L.A. We just started hanging around the Comedy Store. We became friends. And then I started taking him on the road with me.
This is a cool thing to consider and think about. Like, those are both guys that are following their dreams, and they have a plan, a dream. And everyone needs a plan. Everyone needs a dream, you know. And as long as you're following your plan and your dream, things are going to happen. And, yeah, since you're here, you're a planner. And they met through that situation, and I hope it made Joe Rogan's life better. And I'm thinking it made Joey Diaz's life better because he started getting to the gym and, you know, getting healthy, I think. But who knows?
Like the late 90s.
Okay.
And we've been best friends forever.
So I know of Joey. I don't know Joey. I've never met him.
You never met Joey?
Never.
I'll call him up right now.
TV and the whole bit, and you know, I know him from
You need to meet him.
and I see your podcast and all that. And he's in the circles. He does some jiu-jitsu. He's funnier than hell, and he's a gangster, so I like him. But I don't know anything about him. So he comes on my podcast. Now he has a podcast, so of course my opening line to him is, "Hey, how'd you get into podcast?" Right? I'm going to put here's your plug for your podcast, and we're going to go on and talk about my agenda. So I say to him, Joey, how'd you get into podcasting? His response, you know, Chael Sonnen, he wouldn't call me Chael. It was always, you know what, Chael Sonnen?
He still calls me Joe Rogan.
I mugged a hooker down in New Jersey and set her wig on fire.
Oh my gosh, dude. How wild is that?
It's okay, there's two moving parts here. First off, I don't know how that answers my question of how, but now I need to know the story here. So he ties it all together with, he went on something, he got an appearance. He told the story of mugging a hooker in New Jersey and setting her wig on fire.
So he asked him how he got involved in podcasting, right? And then he drops that line.
And all of a sudden, he blew up overnight. And he goes, yeah, I realized people like those stories. I never knew that I had stories. From the part of the country I'm in and the neighborhood I grew up in, I thought everybody had these stories. He's like, Chael Sonnen, I thought I'd tell you I mug a hooker and light her wig on fire. You go, yeah, well, I mug 10 hookers and let 10 wigs on fire. He's like, I didn't know I had stories. And then it just goes from there. And
But the wild thing about these stories is, like, sometimes it's okay to laugh and do those things, but whenever they fictionalize these stories and then claim it to be a good life or a good lifestyle, like sometimes they do that in like the rap world or hip hop world, that leads other people to believe like, oh yeah, if I do these things, these are bad things, but I'll have money and I'll get girls. 99.9999% that doesn't happen. You get in trouble, you get caught, and it's not worth it. So that's the thing about stories is, yeah, they're okay, they're funny, they're entertaining, but you also need to be conscientious about like what you allow in your mind and what you think is true or not true. Like, these stories are funny because they're wild, but very dangerous and can lead you down a very bad path. And is that worth it for a laugh?
he starts telling me about, so he ends up doing 2 years or 18 months. And I said, well, what kind of jam did you get in there? And he said, well, I was doing the cop's job for him. You know, the cops don't want drugs on the streets. I went and took 2 kilos off the streets for him. This is how he presents it to me. And he goes, yeah, you know, the 2 kilos wasn't as big of a deal. Oh, he said, so I robbed 2 kilos. He goes, and you know what else, Chael Sonnen? I just happen to have a machine gun. And I go, well, I can see where that happened. He goes, yeah, sometimes you just back into a machine gun. I had a machine gun with me. And he goes, but it's funny, I wasn't in trouble for the gun. I really wasn't in that much trouble for the drugs. What they were upset about was the kidnapping. I'm going, okay, what?
This is just absolutely completely wild, man. And what does this have to do with podcasting, right? Oh, my God.
What happened here? This is my intro to the guy. I'm like, what in the hell is this story? You probably know the story, but I didn't. So he tells me the whole story, and he says, yeah, but, kidnapping's kind of a weird charge. Because when you and Vandalay got in that scuffle in The Ultimate Fighter, if I come and grab you and I take you into the next room just to cool you down, taking you into a room against that's kidnapping. So I think like they got him on a technicality jam, like what they're doing with Frank Mir or some of these guys we're talking about. And I said, oh, okay, is that what happened? And he goes, no, I duct taped the guy who was in my trunk, and then I held him in the house for a week before I let him go. I'm like, well, then why did you tell me? Why did you bring up the initial example of taking me next door and cooling me down? What'd that have to do? I still don't know.
Because he's crazy.
It's funnier than hell. And I asked, so I was trying to talk like see, I try to do more of a Joe Rogan experience. You're my idol. I try to do my show the way you do yours, but I'm not there yet. It takes a while to build that audience. So I got to stick on MMA and pro wrestling. I got to really stay in, but I don't want that. I want.
That's really cool that Chael Sonnen is admiring Joe Rogan for all of his accomplishments and saying that right to his face. Like it makes such a difference, and it's really cool and it's respectable and admirable. I think that it would make the world a better place if people actually gave like genuine compliments to people that they admire.
I want to just talk.
Well, you could just talk. You definitely could just talk.
Well, as I bring these guys in, I'm trying to do a little more of that. I go to TMZ, I see the local stuff, I try to ask them pop culture questions. So I dip my toe in politics with Joey. Obama had just made this new rule of go in any bathroom you want. So I asked Joey about that, and he goes, Chael, son, and I've been taking a dump in the woman's bathroom since I'm 5 years old. And believe me, I have dealt with the consequences. But he wasn't kidding. Joe, that's what's so funny, man. This guy, it's a shoot. He's being real, and he tells me.
Dude, this dude is super wild. Like it. Just think about all of that, man. That is just way too wild. And the reasons that he does these things is even more wild.
Yeah,
it's a shoot. He is pro wrestling
Yeah,
lingo.
he goes, well, my mom used to own a restaurant, so, I kind of I'd clean the bath, then I'd sit down in the women's. He goes, you know what happens if you drop your Coke on a men's bathroom floor? No, I don't know, Joe. I don't do Coke. What? And I've tested positive for everything in the world, but Coke wasn't one of them. And he says, you leave it there. You know what happens if I drop my Coke on a women's bathroom floor? You get down and lick it up. That's what he says. But he's trying to say the women's room's cleaner. He's been using them since he's 5 years old. And he said, and I have dealt with the consequences, which I knew. I want the answer to what those were. It's just, it's like there's too many other things to talk to this guy. But I got to get back to the hooker with the wig that he mugged.
I've known Joey
So I was busy.
20
He's so wild, dude. Just so wild.
years, and he's never stopped running out of stories. And they're all real.
Yeah.
Like people, his life is so fucking crazy that people go, oh, that guy just comes on your show and makes stuff up. That's what people used to say. When I used to have him on, they used to say, like, when we first started doing the podcast, you're like, I'm tired of that Joey Diaz guy. He's lying. He's just making things up. Haters would say that. But then people would come on his show and substantiate. He would call people up in New Jersey that he grew up with. They would tell, and he would go, tell him that fucking story about the time we lit the hooker's wig on fire. And then they would tell the same story. Like, he's lived a movie. Like
Right.
not a movie, like an epic adventure series of novels. Like, his life is insane.
Well,
Do you guys think his life is actually true? Do you think he is telling the truth? Because someone to do those many things and to say those many things, it's like, it's wild. But I don't know. I don't know if I can believe it, but it's possible. You never know.
qualify. So he tells this story about robbing this guy with a machine gun that he just happened to have, taking the 2 kilos off the street, doing the cop's job for him, but then having the guy in his trunk duct tape before he moved him to the house before he let him go. He had that guy on his podcast.
Yes.
He found him on social media, tried to friend him or like him or whatever you call it on Facebook. I'm a Twitter guy, but this was Facebook. Guy ignored him for about 2 years and finally responded. Now Joey's had him on this podcast. He says we catch up about once a month.
That's
and he goes, yeah, and the guy
hilarious.
was good people. He never turned me in. He said it was my partner in the whole thing. The partner tried to double cross me. We stole the Coke, then he was going to steal it from me. But I knew what time it was. Now that's an expression I'd never heard before, but I plan to take with me through my next years in life. Whenever I knew what time it was. I just thought that was a great line. The whole thing was great. I asked him about the gorilla. The gorilla had just got shot where they killed him at the zoo.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what, Chael Center, they don't give us the good gorillas. I'm down at the zoo last week. The gorillas, they got their hair messed up. They don't eat bananas. They want chicken cutlets. Shoot the effing gorilla. And it's like, you had no idea I was going to ask you that. That was so spontaneously funny. You know, that news had just broke. And right then, I was like, this is the guy. This is a funny guy.
No, he's unbelievable. He's the funniest person I've ever met in my life. He's the funniest comedian I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I've never seen him live.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, kudos to that, to survive such a life and to experience a life, man. And seems like he's a great person after all of he's been through. He's learned quite a bit. He's going in the right direction and all of those types of things. Ooh, I got a question for y'all. Let me check this one. Where do I go to my thing? Oh. Here's my latest short. And so I got those glasses, the Meta Oakley ones. And let me know about the image quality and the sound. This is all direct. I didn't edit any of the sound or anything. I did add music to it. That's a great looking truck over there, man. What year is it?
68.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, what type of engine did you put in there? And I added a Tiger.
1.3.
Oh, man. What do you get, like 12 miles a gallon?
Yeah.
Man, beautiful. Good job. You guys do body work and stuff, or?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Kind of body shop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, solid truck. Nice truck. Yeah, Joe Rogan is a huge inspiration, man. That guy's so cool. Chael Sonnen. He actually had a rough background too, man. He looks like, I was thinking like he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, never went through anything. But if you learn about his life, man, that's pretty wild. All right, let's frame this up so we can learn a little bit from actor Jeff Daniels. Talking about Dumb and Dumber.
With Pete and Bobby Farrelly. Studio wanted a comedian to, that's what you do in big comedy movies. And Jim wanted an actor who would make him listen, who would react, who would get it. It's a buddy-buddy movie, Jim. I said,
So important. Listening is so important for art, for family, for relationships, for everything. That the ability to listen and to try. It's so important.
A comedian will just try to top me, and then we're into that, and that's not what this is. There's a heart to this. There's these two guys. They're stupid as hell, but there's a heart to them. I got the role, and I was aware that others wanted someone else, but I knew that Jim, Pete, and Bobby Farrelly wanted me. So we all went to Breckenridge, Colorado to start shooting. And the first morning, we shot this.
Just imagine being actor Jeff Daniels with Jim Carrey at the peak of his career, with how hilarious he was, how entertaining he was, man, and then working on one of the world's biggest comedies ever. Like, this is just unreal, man. This dude experienced those days in that moment while the buzz was so real.
Scooter. Me and Jim driving down the mountain pass, and I say, I gotta pee, and he says,
Just go, man.
That was the first day, pulling into Aspen, supposedly, and the snot coming down, getting off the scooter. That was morning one. Jim didn't.
Man, just imagine that. It's so cold, and you have to shoot in Colorado. Like, I'm okay with heat, but when it comes to cold, I do not like cold. What about you guys? Are you type hot if you like hot weather, or cold if you like cold weather? My goodness. And these guys are acting in it, take after take.
Work the rest of the week. We went to the lodge. We did the chairlift on the pole with the tongue on the pole.
Oh, look, Frost.
This was hilarious, dude.
We did the tongue sitting there getting pulled off. We did.
And it was shot like pretty well. Pretty well. Like, if you look at, but there's nothing like super spectacular about it, but it's visually legible. It's very clear. You know what's going on. And I thought that was real tongue when I first saw this movie. But yeah. And it goes to show, like, it doesn't have to be shot extremely, extremely well if the story is good.
We did going into this.
Like, this is super dark, I think. Dark and blown out at the same time. And do they care about exposing the inside for the outside? No.
Ski lodge, crashing the skis. Jim's not working. Now we do the snowball in the head. Now we get to Thursday and Friday, and Jim hasn't worked yet. And I may be
It's so funny, man. That's so funny. Like when he went off on that girl, I was like, what an idiot, dude. What an idiot.
Dumb and Dumber, but I'm not stupid. The audition is still going on. I come to find out they're going to assemble these scenes featuring me, and we're all somewhere going to look at them over the weekend. And somebody is on call. Somebody who's a comedian is waiting to hear whether he's going to go do the movie or not. Nobody told me, but you could feel it. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. I don't know. Maybe I'm being paranoid. I don't know. Okay. I wait Sunday. I get the call. See you Monday morning, 6 a.m. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. Go into makeup Monday morning. Now we're shooting a scene with me and Jim. Jim walks into the makeup trailer, pats me on the shoulder, leans in, and says, just keep doing what you're doing. They love you.
That's encouraging. That's so cool. From the funniest comedian on earth saying that to you.
Kept walking. Jim Carrey's a friend to this day. He stood up for me, and he's one of the great friends I got in this business.
You can see that camera movement.
Hi, Lloyd.
Dude's definitely walking
There
with
were
the camera.
moments, very few, where Jim would go off. And one of the few was, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? That was in the middle of a take, what's he doing? And then he does it, and then I just repeated what he was doing, because when in doubt, repeat Jim.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
And that was kind of it. That was, I don't remember other...
So that's pretty intense, you know, just between scenes. Like Jim just goes with it, and then you know, he's staying in character. And I guess that's super important to stay in character, because you never know what's going to happen. That little scene might just push that movie over the edge and make it successful. You never know how the momentum can go. So always be ready. Have a plan and always be ready.
Improv stuff. I mean, Jim would try stuff, and like the sword fight coming in the blue and orange tuxedos. That was take 7. There were 6 takes before that where we started per script that Pete and Bobby had written with Jim, so they kind of had already improv their way into this. We want this. All 3 of them. So that was kind of set. We did it as written, coming in with the orange and blue, psh, psh, like that, boom, go in, cut. That's take 1. Take 2, psh, 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 he does me, boom, boom, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do something until finally about 6 or 7, he goes, let's have a sword fight. What do you mean? Yeah, a sword fight. And then we walk in. Okay, last take. Pete, one more. I got an idea. Okay. And then, so Jim doesn't surprise you with it. He'll say, let's do this together.
That's very cool. I've seen a lot of like behind the scenes with Jim Carrey, and a lot of his takes are improvised, which is really, really cool because in the moment. But that's so cool that he's like sharing it with his co-star and saying like, hey, let's do this and let's do that. And it's on the fly. And you can really see that like creativity of like what's going to happen, because the viewer's seeing it for the first time and the actors are experiencing it for the first time too. So there's something real and natural about it. They're not just reading off a script. They're like actually engaging in the moment and making it entertaining, trying not to get hurt and doing those types of things. So kudos to that and that creative process.
And so the last one was the one they used, take 7, which was sword fight, come in, I'll knock your head off, and then you whack me in the back of the leg.
Which is funny.
Great, boom. And that takes it. We're done. Cut. Good.
Yeah, that was
And they
hilarious.
used the last one.
Legendary.
But they had 7 versions of it, which is the fun of film acting and the fun of film acting with Jim.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. And this spraying the cologne part was, or the Banaka or mouth freshener was hilarious, dude. So hilarious. And their suits are so funny. I'm surprised people don't wear that for Halloween. I think that would be hilarious. But that's so cool to think about this as it all being planned out, and then Jim's creativity, like he knocks off his hat, and then to get him back, he just swings at him with his
I
cane.
come in, I'll knock your hat off, and then you whack me in the back of the like, got it, great, boom, and that takes it.
Hilarious. And it like this whole part doesn't really make sense because it goes back to it, but I think they're like, okay, we gotta act professional, we're here, we're doing whatever. But yeah, again, as far as like the cinematography, it's not really shot extremely well. Like it's well lit, there's like a nice backlight over here and those types of things, and they're not, it's just like, it's simple, but the storytelling is just so great and so amazing. So kudos to that. And by the way, if you're going to send me that thing, I wrote my Instagram there, so if you want to send it. And yeah, as you know, every day we're going live in 2026, so like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. We're trying to build an amazing community here. All right, this is a wild one. This is as far as women and in society, and like what they can do and what their goals are. This is what it says. Ladies, do not fall for it.
I'm going to make this quick because I have to go into a meeting. I have 3 meetings today. I have been in the corporate life for almost half my life. For context, I'm 40 years old. I have 2 children who are 11 and 7. And I fell for it. I fell for this thing where, go to college, get your degree. If you want to have kids, you can do it all. You can have a career, you can have kids, you can just do everything. Well, I don't.
This is the reason it's so important to like really think about what you allow in your life. Like you have to very carefully think about all the information that goes into your mind. And that's the reason we're going live every single day of 2026. I'm trying to make this world a better place. And like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because this is an example of what happens when you just consume media without even knowing what happens.
No, I don't want to do everything. I don't want to do that anymore. I fell for that shit. Do not fall for it. Do not fall for that shit. I want to take my kids to school. I want to pick them up from school. I want to be there when they get home. I want to chaperone for them, volunteer at school.
She's breaking up. She's getting super emotional right now, like of what she wants to do. She wants to be like a traditional woman, a traditional mom right there, and
I just want to go to the gym, clean my house, do laundry, go to the grocery store, and just be home. So do me a favor. Do not fall for that shit, because it is not worth it. It's a joke.
And she's 40 and she has 2 children. So she's pretty much right towards the tail end of genetically even being able to possibly have any more children. But she's really stating those things that a lot of younger women don't even consider.
It's a joke. Don't do it. Be home, find a way to be home, be with your family, be with your kids. It's not worth it.
And that's another thing to think about, like how important is money to you? You need money to survive and to do those types of things, but do you really need that much more money where you don't actually see your family anymore? Like the most important thing that exists on the world after the Lord, your family? Come on.
None of this is worth it.
So wild, and it's just such a powerful thing to think about. And look at this. You could go through any frame of this thing, and this woman is gorgeous. She's a beautiful woman, classy, and she's just dropping knowledge, giving advice. And this is such a cute video. Look at the grandma. She's like hyping up the granddaughter, which is so cool and something to consider. Like whenever you're with friends or family, Like, even if it's like decently cool, if you hype them up and make them feel good about themselves, it's such a beautiful moment that you guys can share it together. Really cool idea. That happens often with like classy grandparents. They're just so cool and so awesome, and they know how to live life and to light you up. It's so cool. And why not do that with your friends and your family? You know, just make life really good together, because the most important thing is the people around. Well, she was like just so stoked. And as far as like beautiful interiors, for all y'all who are into building and real estate and Airbnbs, this is very, very inspiring.
Starlit cabin, which is probably one of the most beautiful Airbnbs I've ever.
Look at this entrance. It's just like a circle. Maybe a 6-foot type of underground pipe housing or something. Who knows?
Ever seen. Baby, can you open the door, please? Thank you.
A rolling circular door? How awesome, man. How awesome. And look at this woodwork. And these are all different sized woods. Like this looks like a 4-inch, or maybe more, 6-inch, 2-inch, 6-inch, 1-inch. So it's not like exact sized wood, which is very cool. And the floor kind of looks like brick. And then we have some more wood. So we have brick and wood.
To our right, we have our living area, but you got to see our room. This here.
What a view, man. Very cool, very cool. And it's all very circular and squarey here.
Is our room, and look at the views, but wait for the bed. Our bed is a starlit
very cool bed.
Cabin, which means this actually opens while you're lying in bed. Open it up.
And she can do it. She's over here on the left side opening it up. So it's not so difficult, but I don't think it's electrically controlled. I think it's by hand.
Check at that.
Or maybe it is electric. I don't know. She's
How cool.
She's pulling
so
something.
When you're lying in bed, you can actually see the stars.
Oh yeah, she's pulling something
cool.
here. Okay.
So here we go down towards our living room. This is also made out of a silo, a recycled silo.
A recycled silo. Okay, silos are those things where you put like corn in there for animal feed and all those types of things.
Right, we have mud that insulates the walls, and on the one side we have
mud in the inside of a house. Very cool idea. What's that called? That's like very green.
Have a nice wood that just adds as a good decoration. And these are the stairs down towards the bottom. Look at this. Absolutely
such a cool entryway.
Incredible. And the shower is also going to blow you away. To our right is where we have a shower. Look at the floor. It's all rustic. We have a toilet, a nice countertop.
Look at that sink, man. That's a really cool sink. I think that is either wood or cut out of like a big rock. But beautiful sink, super hot, hot and cold water, and just easy, simple, beautiful, nice wood countertop here. Oval mirror, very cool.
Top with a stone sink and the shower. But
here's a shower. I don't know how do you guys feel about these like succulents on the wall over here right next to a shower? Interesting. And a cactus. Oh, don't lean on the wall.
Believe it or not, that shower head is outside, which means even when it's raining, the rain falls inside your shower.
Beautiful, but what happens when your drain is not working?
Yes, this is an Airbnb. We have 1, 2, 3 chilling spaces, no TV so that you can relax.
Very cool. Airbnb without a TV.
And here is our kitchen.
What do you guys think about this kitchen? I really like this little thing, like this ladder, horizontal ladder that they have up here. This is really cool. You can hang dishes and pots and pans.
/ dining room area, all handmade.
Handmade, man. So cool.
And once again, we have a clay ceiling, clay walls, super beautiful.
Rolling barn door right here. Very cool. Sliding barn door.
Here is our second room.
If this is a window, that has to be custom made.
With a nice window to the outside.
All right.
And a beautiful spot is this. What? How insane. A bright spot with another dining room area.
Oh, very nice. Outdoor barbecue maybe?
Yeah. We have a bench with a
What's on the bench?
bonfire spot, 2 little chairs to sit on while you look at the view, and of course a beach swimming pool with a hot tub that you can heat up, looking over these views. Absolutely amazing.
Man, West Cape, South Africa. Do they have lions over there? Like, what's going to happen? Which dangerous animals? They have Cape buffalo. Oh my God. Lions, black mambas. Who else? Cobras, black widow, spiders, hippos, baboons, caracal, scorpions. Yeah, I guess it's a beautiful place, but you got to be very careful if you're in Western Cape, South Africa, man. That is wild, so wild. But it's kind of cool to like get inspiration from different, countries. If you're in the business, that's one beautiful thing about traveling. Look at this, man. What a shot. Lava erupting. So there's like oop. How's my frame? Can you guys see that? Nope. Okay, this is better. So here's lava erupting outside of this volcano. So wild. And look at these beautiful colors mixing with the blues, the browns, the whites. Just unreal. Absolutely. There's that little lava spike right there. So cool. All right. And another reason you shouldn't drink too much alcohol. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. So this girl obviously has had quite a few drinks. And so she starts with a little spin. She drops down. And she wants to do some type of thing. Dude. She does a handstand with one hand and an elbow, and she's not strong enough for her elbow. And what happens next? Oh my gosh, dude. Unnecessary, unintentional scorpion, dude. And the pain. And she's so drunk, she gets up like nothing. Oh my gosh. She's in pain, dude. That is so bad. Security's like, no, girl. You have had enough. Man. So bad. Like, look at that pain. She's on her toes, heels, doing that. That's so wild. Oh no, we can't watch that one. That one's a bad one. But we can watch this one. This one's better. And if you guys want me to like review any videos, please just like share them and yeah, go for it. Because we're going live every single day of 2026. So make sure you like and subscribe. Bam. Check out this one, though. This is a good one. I think we can turn up the volume.
Know it yet, but if he goes on all fours, crosses his legs, and dips to the side, he will release the back of his hips. Where did
Pretty good idea.
you come from? He also doesn't know that
Can you see or not see this? Okay, you can see.
if he lays down, places one foot on his knee, and sinks to the side, he will loosen up the side of his hips and
Very good for people who sit down a lot.
help his Donald Duck butt. My lower back cracked too. And if he puts his legs against
This one is unreal. It looks kind of weird, but honestly, if you put your leg up against a wall and you bring your knee close to it, dude, that is going to be the most gnarliest stretch for your quadriceps.
the wall, pushes up with his arms, and extends, he will open up the front of his hip that has tightened up from all that sitting. I'm gonna follow you for more. He
Cool video. Check out GenoFit Home Workouts, GENNOFIT, on the Facebook. All right, since we're on the little fitness thing, check this out, dude. Some people are just unreal. This is the first time ever someone has ever done this. This is like extremely, incredibly awesome, and check it out, and inspiring. So does this have audio?
I do.
Yeah. Turn that off. So he does a handstand push-up, slaps his hands behind his back. Did you see that? He did a front flip. A handstand front flip. Just unreal, dude. Unreal how much talent this dude has. All right, let's check that out again. So he loads up and uses his legs as momentum. This is just incredible. He might have touched the floor, a big deal, you know, but he uses his legs as momentum and throws himself over. And look at his hands just there. So he doesn't really gain momentum from his hands. But man, that is so wild. Just absolutely impressive. And just the mobility and flexibility this dude has. There you go, man. Well done. Make sure you subscribe, like, turn on notifications, because we are doing this every single day of 2026. Dude, that dude's jumping around like it's nothing. That's just so incredible, man. So incredible. Some people are extremely talented. All right, here's a controversial one. This is absolutely, bam, front flip. Excellent. A controversial one. And how do you guys feel about this one? Where is my frame? So this is from Detroit.
And also, we're freezing any and all welfare payments going to illegal immigrants that will start effective immediately. So when illegals come into California, Gavin Newsom, they come into California, and they send us bills for people coming in. We're not paying it.
He dropped it, Gavin Newsom.
So we're working on that very strongly.
Nico Belic, Q1M6X. Thank you for the chat. Volk is really hard to get caught clean. This proves technical prowess of Topuria. Yeah. Volk is... Man, are you talking about... I don't know.
Just don't pay it.
Let me see.
And also, we're freezing any and all welfare payments going to illegal immigrants that will start effective immediately. So when illegals come into California, Gavin Newsom.
Are you talking about Volkanovski over here? This gentleman, right? Drew Dober has been taking lessons from Giga Chad, Derek Chauvin. Yeah, dude. Drew Dober was just absolutely impressive, dude. So impressive. Yeah, that was a wild one. That was so wild. Did you think he was going to win? You're just like, yeah. He's winning for sure. How do they have the highlights up yet of Drew Dober? Yeah, we watched that knockout he did of Johnson. It was like just absolutely incredible. Let's see if we can look it up. See, I'm live with the chat. Whenever we get something in the chat, I like to kind of go with it because 2 years ago. That's not a recent one. Yeah, okay.
In 3 seconds is the extent of the win streak for Terrence McKinney.
his foot off the gas. Terrence McKinney is so powerful. My goodness.
No, this is a different fight. This isn't the fight. That's a year ago. Oh, 4 hours ago. There we go. Michael Johnson.
Drew Dober.
Yeah, this is just incredible, like how much talent Drew Dober has. I was surprised. I was a little worried for him
Michael
as well.
Johnson just went down, and what a brutal knockout this turned. Front leg with a
All right, so those are talking.
kicker by inches.
Nice.
Slide.
Yeah. Actually, I'm surprised that Yahoo has some good ones. Oh, where was that link? I have the link here. And if you hold Command or Alt F and then type in a word, that's a good way to use find. Yeah, so that left was clean, man. Did you hear that sound? That was just like unreal. What's my frame like? Can you see that okay? Yeah. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So he baited him with his short right, and then that left just connected. And he got another hit in. I would almost like argue it's unnecessary, but you never know. Like these guys, it wasn't like blatant. He wasn't like he hit him 3 or 4 times. He just kind of in the moment, you know. But look at the respect, man. He goes directly to his corner and does that. Toron Brown 4107. How you doing, buddy? Cheers, man. Thank you for joining in the chat. Yeah. Yeah, that was like an incredible fight. Incredible fight.
He is stiff. Look at his feet.
I think one area Drew Dober could improve in is maybe his defense. He did get cut up, and he's a tough guy, but like Paddy Pimblett, like just don't get hit that much, you know? Like try not to. You know, those types of things. Toron Brown, what are you up to, man? How's life? What are some of your plans for 2026? Yeah, that was just like gnarly. So gnarly. We have another one that's kind of inspiring. This is a really cool one. So this is POTUS, P-O-T-U-S, President of the United States. I hear some people say that often. And yeah, just in case you didn't know, that's what it means.
17th, 2026, that we're inviting Americans from all across the country to come together on our national mall to pray, to give thanks, and we are going to do something that everyone said, like, that's tough. We're going to rededicate America as one nation under God. I'm pleased to.
That's so cool. One nation under God. Really, really cool. And actually, so we're going to take a little break now. And if you guys want to grab a drink or do whatever you need, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I will be right back. But yeah, I love you. The Lord loves you. And let me just pull up this playlist for y'all so you can watch some of those good things. Turn the sound up, because this is how a margarita is supposed to begin. Tequila Mandala, Anejo, top shelf, poured like a promise. Then the bright part, Fresh lemons, hand squeezed, not from a jug, not from a mix. Alive. This is the move most people never get. A house-made secret. Shaken in metal like thunder. Ice hits glass, strained like silk, bold, and dangerously easy. Dry Society Bar, Kaleidoscope, Mission Viejo. Come taste it, done right.
Is Sean Strickland better than Conor McGregor at selling a fight? Please tell me.
I try not to think about fighting at all. Like, even when I'm training, even now, I try not to think about it, because like when you're a fighter and like you flip that switch to like, all right, I'm ready to fucking die for what I want, it's hard to shut off. So like early in fighters' careers,
Do we understand how intense that is, just to know that you're going in the ring with another person who is extremely dangerous, and you're so dangerous? One of the reasons UFC is that entertaining is because you never know what's going to happen. These guys are incredibly talented.
lay in bed every night and you visualize, like, I'm going to come out and jab, he's going to take me down, and you stuff his head. And I mean, you're up for hours and hours. You wake up at 3 a.m. just like, how is this going to play out? And as you get older and you've had a lot of fights and like
those people say, you know, you were in the ring for only 10 seconds or 15 seconds and you knocked that person out. You think his job was only 10 or 15 seconds? You know how many months and years it took to prepare for that particular millisecond, which happens to be part of that 15-second thing? Who's going to win, Sean Strickland or somebody else? Let me know what you think in the chat.
Did or finished the way you didn't. You just realize it doesn't do anything besides like stressing your nervous system, you know? All it does is it like ruins your sleep, ruins your training, makes you overthink shit. So I'm pretty calm and relaxed until I get to, I would even say, like, once my hands are wrapped, that's when the switch kicks on. We're like, all right, I got like 30 minutes, you know, pace your mind so you don't overwork itself, but then like mentally you got to be ready to fight for what you want. I like that guy, dude. Where are you from, dude? Oh, don't do that, dude. Come on, relax, Elon.
He's a charismatic character. You know, he says something bad once in a while and says some inappropriate things, but look at his smile now and look at how he made that person feel. He didn't just accept that person's question, that journalist's question. He made that journalist feel special. That journalist actually got a question from ex-UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland.
Hey, Sean over here. Do you think that the winner of this fight should jump Imavov for a title opportunity?
I don't fucking know, dude. I mean, here's the thing, dude. Do I think that, like, do you want to see two fucking terrorist Muslims fight each other, right? Like, what do no one gives? I mean, again, more than likely, Chimaev's gonna take down Imavov and just fucking dry hump him for, and nobody gives a fuck about you.
Oh, stream, it's loading. I'm sorry, it's loading. YouTube, give me some more bandwidth. If you guys are there, like, subscribe, turn on notifications.
Fighting. But the thing about Chimaev,
we are going live every single day of 2026, bringing you the good stuff.
Dude, it's like, how inactive is he gonna be, right? So, like, I mean, let's just say this fight does happen. When is it supposed to happen?
Well, if you or Anthony won this, you might fight him at the White House, Cardis.
Yeah, it'd be funny bringing a fucking terrorist to the White House, but no, yeah, I mean, it won't surprise me with this administration, you know. I feel like Trump would do that. Like, I mean, but again, like, they bring Ali Al-Bazab to the fucking, like, wasn't he on stage with Trump, right? Like, dude, weren't you, like, didn't you get caught with passports and became an FBI informant? Like, what the fuck are you doing with the president of the United States, dude? How the fuck did you get here, you know? But I mean, dude, life's weird, man. Like, there's that viral clip of, like, Tiki that, like, goes and, like, you know, he knocks out the streamer, which was a sucker punch, by the way. Like, everyone's like, oh man, it's really dope that you did that. Like, was it dope? Like, you had a cup and you sucker punched a guy in the face. What would be dope to say, all right, man, you want to fucking fight? Make the circle. Like, that's what a fucking man does, dude. Like, what a woman beating fucking rapist, like, that's what he does. He just looks away like, oh yeah, you serious? You serious? Boom, sucker punch. Like, what? That's kind of being a little bitch to me. If you're gonna fucking fight a man, you say you give him the option. But
tell me, is Sean Strickland wrong there? Honestly, if you're gonna fight like a man, sucker punches honestly. Anyone who does a sucker punch, shame on you and whoever raised you, and hopefully the Lord can help you.
Yeah, life's weird, man. So when you're talking about Chimaev going to the White House, you know, he's best friends with like a fucking warlord dictator that murders people. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if this administration puts a fucking terrorist on the White House card. I guess the perfect person to fight him would be me, right? The last real fucking American in the UFC.
How good is Sean Strickland at marketing? He's creating all that friction, all that drama. Honestly, I know you guys might have a different opinion, but please tell me, is Sean Strickland better than Conor McGregor at selling a fight? Please tell me.
Now we got some other guys. Zach Reese, he's a good American.
Yeah, have your own little Rocky story there.
But again, but we'll look back to Chimaev, you know, it's like, it's kind of hard, dude, because let's just say he does fight Imanov or whatever. Every fucking fight, this guy gets hurt. Mysterious injuries. I break my hand, my ovaries hurt. Like I did this, I did that. Like, dude,
My ovaries hurt? Bro, he just said my ovaries hurt. That almost slipped by me. You know, I think Sean Strickland's just that funny that sometimes people have to watch his press conferences a few times. There's so much data here. There's a reason Sean Strickland is going viral. Whoever is his PR and marketing dude is just gonna get a raise because Sean Strickland is bringing the views 100%. Thank you, David Stoll, 2652. If you're talking trash and are trying to instigate a fight, you should be ready to throw hands at any moment on that dude for not having his guard up when talking trash. I guess you kind of have a point, but I don't know exactly what happened there, but I can say for anyone who sucker punches someone, shame on you. Like if you're gonna fight someone, good, fight them. Fight fair and square and just say, hey, you know what? No weapons, hands. If you want to go into a gym, we'll sign a release. You know, whoever gets injured, you can't sue me. But let's handle it like men who just fight. You know, not be those spineless people who want to hurt someone. I'm not gonna go up to Sean Strickland and say, hey man, you're this, you're that, you're. There's no way. There's no way. I trained fighting previously, but nowhere near to the extent Sean Strickland. You know, like if Sean Strickland could only use his elbow, he'd probably be able to beat me up, honestly. But yeah, no, you have a point. Like it's don't talk trash, and the people who can talk trash are these UFC fighters, and that's their job. Look, he has no limits. He was just instigating the United States on who they are going to invite to the White House. Like this is, I don't know, maybe Sean Strickland will fight at the White House. You never know, man. You never know. He's definitely selling it. He's selling this fight and that fight. Thank you, David Stoll, 2652. Glad to have you here.
Never produced an x-ray. You've never produced an MRI. Like, but every fucking fight, dude, you got to take a year off because you're fucking injured. Like, are you that big of a bitch? So I don't know, man. I think, I'll just be curious to see his trajectory and actually how many times he fights, you know? But like when you're him, do you have to fight? When you're fucking sucking off Cordero and you're getting fucking gifted G-Wagons and like, I mean, how much money do you think that guy fucking...
Bro's dropping some heat, getting G-Wagons and doing fellatio. All right, dude, this guy's, he's a fighter, man. He's selling fights. You know, you never know. Maybe after this whole pre-fight press conference, he's gonna go have a cup of coffee with the guy. You know, they're gonna be friends and be like, hey, you know what? Thanks for the extra $800,000 you brought because of these Paramount stream sales or whatever. But I heard actually they get less than they did with the pay-per-views. But we'll see, we'll see. But what Sean is doing is incredible, honestly. Okay, please chat, let me know. Is Sean Strickland the Steve Jobs of UFC? Please tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. I think he's up there.
Gets from the Chechnyan warlord, right? He probably gets a ton. So it's like, for him, it's not necessarily about fighting. It's about having a belt for as long as possible. And I think that's why you have a guy who just fucking hits on it and gets injured. Yeah.
And then you've trained with NFL All-Pro Max Crosby. He said that after his career, he would actually like to try his chance in the UFC. How do you think he would do against the current heavyweight division?
No, I actually boxed him once. It's kind of funny. I'll tell you a funny story about Max. So I'm married. He's married, you know. We're all married. We're not, this ain't the NHL. No gays are about unless it's a halftime show. So, he's like, hey Sean, I'm doing like this ESPN article. You wanna come box me? I'm like, fuck yeah, Max. Like, you're a legend, dog. Like, and Max is like dope, dude. You want to talk about someone who's actually like been there for UFC fighters and like supported us? Like, Max is from day one. He's been an advocate of the UFC. So like he goes, dude, and he brings this like fine ass ESPN reporter. I mean, you know, dude, the ones that's like, how did you get this job? Like, right? Like, I don't know how you got this job, but I could probably connect some dots. So he brings this fine ass ESPN reporter in, and he's
Sean just telling it as it is, and I just want to let you know who this guy Max Crosby is. It's this gentleman. That's who he's talking about. I think he's a Raider. Yeah, he's a Raider, NFL Raider.
Boxing me, and I'm being like cool, and I'm working. All of a sudden, he starts like putting some fucking heat on me, right? And he's like, actually, he was a big mother.
This is a big moment, you know. Sean is playing cool with the guy, and then Max starts putting on heat. So as far as Sean Strickland fighting Sneeko, who knows what happened behind the scenes and what Sneeko actually said. But with athletes, you know, Max Crosby obviously is a dangerous man as well, a professional athlete, and we all know Sean Strickland is extremely dangerous. And for Sean Strickland to go light on him and then Max Crosby turn up the volume, come on, guys. You cannot just think you're going to turn up the volume with Sean Strickland. Strickland has probably more volume than you.
And I'm looking at this fine ass little piece of ass he brought. I'm like, dude, you're not. I'm like I want to be a homie and let you me up in front of this chick, dude, but I just can't. I just don't have it in me. So me and him had a fucking war, and I cracked him a few times. He handled it well, but the thing is, dude, you just take that level of like athleticism. It would be very easy, and Max is one of those guys, dude. He just kind of has that like that fight in him, you know. I know the NFL got real gay lately, and they've tried to like strip men of being men, and you can't hit people hard, or you know, you can't do that shit. But I think Max does have that kind of like.
Is Sean Strickland saying all those things we're afraid to say? Is he like that dude? He's like, you know what? We can't say these things, but Sean Strickland can. I might tweet Sean Strickland something and be like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Sean Strickland, he is one of the best marketing geniuses on earth.
Aggression in him that would translate so well to the UFC. How he does, I don't know. I mean, he should do well, but it's a hard, like, you're asking to do an entire different sport, and you want to learn that in a couple years after being adult. It might be difficult, but I think he would win. You know, I think he'd knock it out. I'd be there to help the guy.
What do you guys think? Should Max Crosby join MMA? That's a good question.
I fucked up. I said faggot. I can't say that these days. Quiet.
So just for a little bit of idea, Max Crosby is 6'5" and 255 pounds. Yeah, that's a big person. You know, like, just imagine this man in the UFC. That's not a small guy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I have nothing to say, man. He's probably a smart, good person, you know. That's good. Yeah, David Stoll 2652. I agree with you 100%. You can have an athletic background for sure, but to jump in to the UFC is absolutely wild. These people have such a small margin of error. They are so accurate with everything, and they have these tactics, these bait things, you know. They'll fake to go for the knee, and just somehow magically a knuckle appears on the side of someone's temple, you know. And it's so fast, it's so incredible. Can we just talk about Mighty Mouse? Do you guys remember Mighty Mouse? Mighty Mouse picked a guy up and was gonna body slam him, and then arm barred the guy. So he's using all his back, lifting this dude up. Poor guy, dude. And this is a world-class athlete. This is not just like some dude that was drunk and 70 pounds lighter than him and doesn't speak the language, thinks you're asking him for taxi directions or something. This is a professional fighter. So he throws him up. He hooks his left hand around this gentleman's left hand. He's standing, this guy's sideways. He was pushing him down. So he's kind of pushing him down because if he pushes him down, and he's strong enough to hold his own body weight, but if he's pushing him down, his shoulder, his elbow, his wrist, those are all super compromised. This is a very dangerous, and you don't see these techniques unless you slow this thing down, like frame by frame, right? Throws his right leg over this dude's face. This dude's like, what is happening over here, dude? That was like half a millisecond. I actually saw Mighty Mouse at Disneyland one time. If you see this dude in person, you'd be like, dude, this guy's short. This guy's what? Man, looks can be deceiving. This guy is dangerous. And how tall is Mighty Mouse? 5'3". Yeah, this guy is dangerous. Yeah, just to show you, like, so if Max Crosby wants to go into the UFC, I hope he has some training background. He stood up there with Sean Strickland. So he's 6'3", 250, right? Max Crosby? No, 6'5", 255. Sean Strickland, 6'1", 185. So that's a big difference. Sean Strickland is obviously much lighter than this guy, and Sean Strickland hit him a few times, but also Sean Strickland is ex-UFC middleweight champion of the world, and he's probably one of the best salespeople of UFC. Thank you, David Stoll 2652. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We're gonna do some more of these, man. It was a lot of fun, and it was a pleasure having you in here, man. You're great. And if you make content, I'm gonna follow you back, man. Awesome. All right, so I need to go to the laboratory actually too. So yeah, we're going live every single day of 2026. The Lord loves you. I love you. Take care of yourself. Follow your dreams, and like, share, comment, turn on notifications. Don't give up on yourself or your dreams, and you are worth it. You don't know how many people love you.
So here we are at Newer, N-E-E-W-E-R. They have some incredible new tech here for iPhones, for all those iPhone people. And so what am I standing in front of over here?
So these are our iPhone and Android cases. They work for iPhone 16 and 17 Pro and Pro Max, Samsung S24 and S25 Ultra. With the cases, it gives you a 17mm thread so that you can attach any of these lenses to it. They also include an adapter so you can use Moment brand lenses. And they also include a 67mm filter adapter so you can put a filter over all your lenses. So there's all different kinds up here, and also our probe lenses that attach to a phone as well.
All you skateboarders, you got an 8mm fisheye lens right there. Look at that. All right.
Yeah, 105 macro, blue streak anamorphic. We got a couple macro lenses right here, and that's a 12mm, I believe, 12 or 14mm.
Amazing, amazing. And what's special about this is those actual handles tilt and they rotate. How far do they go? 90 each way?
You can go the entire way around, and this one also has a Bluetooth shutter release in it.
Amazing. How do you say it? Is it newer or newer?
Newer.
Newer.
Yeah. This is the trigger that we were talking about. Let's see if it's powered on. There we go.
Oh, beautiful screen.
Yeah, it kind of looks like an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
You go to your menu, you have all your settings. Yeah, it's a really nice little touchscreen thing that, you get more information than you would out of a traditional trigger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we make them for Sony, Canon, Nikon, and Fuji so far. And we're planning on releasing them for Panasonic soon.
Amazing. And so what are all these things? Are these kind of like
Those are Osmo filters for the Pocket 3.
Got it.
Yeah, so you gotta take your Osmo and you pop it right on there.
Just pop it right on top.
Yeah.
Add a little effect.
Yeah, like that's a kaleidoscope. This is a colorful star. And this is like a not colorful star, like a just white star.
Love it. So you have the off-camera flashes. Is this an off-camera flash as well?
That's on camera. Yeah, so it's like a kind of a retro style. Yeah, so you have your shoe right there.
There you go, for all the artsy folks in New York and LA.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, and then these are some speed lights. Those are some of our new flashes. The Z3S, that one has 3 modeling lights. It's 100 watts. These ones also all will work on the Godox system if you put them in compatibility mode.
High-speed sync, is that one over 8,000 seconds?
Correct.
Incredible. Amazing. Love it. Oh, okay. It's working. All right, for Andrew Optics and Quadrantics, this might be the best flash for you. Check it out.
Yeah, so this is our 600 watt strobe. It's called the Q6. 600 watts, obviously. Has a quartz lamp. It does 300,000 flashes in a life cycle, so you can control
How many flashes in a life cycle?
300,000 full power flashes.
That's a lot.
It's battery operated. You get 400 full power flashes on one charge. We also make a dummy battery.
Is this the size of the battery right here?
Yes, correct. It's kind of like a V-mount size, like a
Amazing.
small V-mount.
It's light. It's maybe a pound or not even a pound.
Yeah, and this one also is compatible with Godox system as well. This one also has really good color accuracy. If you're in burst mode, it will vary by no more than 200 Kelvin, which is pretty much industry leading in that regard.
So is this waterproof or not really waterproof?
That one's not waterproof, but we do make a waterproof, basically a bag for it, where you can put your hands in. It's like a case.
Very nice.
Yeah, but it's not waterproof on its own.
So I could take this out on a rainy day, but cover it with a case.
Yes.
Have it still work, and then maybe use one of these batteries as well.
Oh yeah, well this is actually the 1200 watt bicolor light. So this is the ballast and this is the light.
Okay.
So it's a video light. Right
So
now
it's
it's
a
on
concept.
1/10 of 1% brightness.
Yeah, that's pretty bright. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so that one should be out around February. It should be IPX6 rated. I don't know what the price will be on it yet, but the non-waterproof version is currently $2,600, but 25% off around. So it comes in around $2,000.
Okay, excellent.
So this will probably be, maybe a little more than that, obviously.
Yeah. So if someone decides to shoot photos outside, the solution is to cover the actual strobe light, which has the battery installed as well, and there's no other connections. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we do sell the waterproof cover that specifically fits it, and it has handholds where you can bring your hands in, and then a clear backing so that you can control it through the waterproof cover.
Amazing. Very nice. You guys had a little small teleprompter over here. Okay. Excuse me.
This is our X11 teleprompter. It has a screen built in. The screen acts as just another monitor on your computer. So you put your teleprompter app on the second screen, or you can bring up your chat, read your chat, and respond directly to your followers, just in looking them right in the eye.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Or you can, like we're demoing it, you can use it as a traditional teleprompter as well.
Very cool. And so what type of monitor is this?
It is 8-inch HD.
Okay, and that's a newer
Yes,
monitor?
the monitor is part of the package.
Okay, very nice.
And you can attach a phone to it, or there's a part here you can flip down, and then you install this little hood, and you can put the camera back here.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, so camera or phone.
So you can use a phone or a camera. Very nice.
Correct.
And how much does this cost?
That one is $229. It's currently 30% off.
That's an amazing deal.
$200.
All you content creators who want to have amazing words in front of your eyes while looking at the camera, this might be the thing for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And can we just circle around to see how it looks back here? So the phone or camera can go here. And then what would this monitor here be for?
So you wouldn't want this in a real life situation, because otherwise your eyes would be darting over to it.
Okay.
This is just to show you how you look on it, on the teleprompter in real time as like part of the display.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but it would defeat the purpose of the teleprompter to have this here to be
Just
like.
trying to make sure the lighting looks good.
Yeah.
Very cool. And you guys have any audio solutions?
We do. We are coming out with a microphone that will have AI noise reduction. So it'll automatically detect and adjust the noise reduction for the sound around you. And it'll also have AI levels, so you can pick how, if you wanted to control pops, control highs, control lows. And so it'll have that integrated in it. That's probably coming out around Q2.
Amazing, amazing. So with the microphone, is that a 3.5 millimeter jack or is it XLR?
It'll be a lap system, so you'll have a case, transmitter, receivers. We're gonna have a 2 transmitter and a 4 transmitter set. They'll each have 3.5 millimeter jacks in them, so it'll be a versatile set for anything you need.
So this will be ideal for live streaming. You'll have.
Yeah, definitely.
Will it have onboard recording as well?
Yes.
32-bit float?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, incredible. Yeah. Very cool. And when is that going to be available?
I'm guessing probably around April. If we're lucky, we'll have it for NAB to show off there. I think that's the plan, is that we'll be debuting it more or less at NAB.
Amazing. I'm excited for that. I really want to see that. I want to try that one. That's going to be really cool.
One of the other really new products that we have here are our home lighting. We're debuting a whole line of home lighting. It all has, you can do AI prompts to create scenes. All the lights are fully customizable. So we have a whole variety of floor lamps, LED lit speaker stands. These are permanent lights that are IPX6 rated, so you can have them outside on your house. Mappable curtains, a variety of home light strips, etc. Light strips, lamps. So we're gonna have a whole line of home lighting.
I love it, brother. And as far as that light, it looked like a 5-foot strip.
Yeah.
Is that the tallest?
That's the tallest we have for now. I think we're planning to make 7 or 8 foot, but I don't know the details of that yet.
Amazing. What's the price point of that one?
It is around $80.
It's a great deal. It's amazing. Okay. And is that battery powered or plug-in?
That's plug-in only.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for all your help, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Come to neewer.com for some amazing technology.
Thank you.
This is either a genius experiment or I've completely lost the algorithm. Today I posted 3 shorts, did 2 lives, and this is my 3rd live, which means the algorithm and I are now seeing other creators. Views are down, not call my therapist down, but just kind of refreshing the app like it owes me money. But this isn't failure. This is research. I'm testing the algorithm. I'm poking it. I'm gently gaslighting it like, no, you loved this one. It did not. Tomorrow, same test. Then I'm pulling out responsibly and going back to 1 short a day. I'm doing the messy exploratory work so you don't have to. And if you're still watching, congrats. You're officially part of this experiment. Now, I'm going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications so you can get involved and get in that comment section, start sending messages, roast if you like. Constructive criticism is always welcome, and as always, follow your dreams. Talk to y'all later. Thank you. And people say, thank God you are here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we are going live every single day of 2026. So California is a magical place. We have earthquakes, droughts, mudslides, and a sun so aggressive it feels personal. Other states have weather. California has events. And every year, like clockwork, the state catches on fire. Not a little fire, not a blow it out fire. A fire that says, I'm changing the map. Fire in California doesn't spread, it networks. It climbs mountains, jumps highways, and ends up in Malibu like, I just needed space. Now, when fire shows up, normal people react appropriately. We panic, we grab children, we grab pets. Someone grabs a blender like, we'll need this. Homes are burning and people are Googling, can fire smell fear? And then sirens. Now, sirens don't mean good news. Sirens mean paperwork, danger, and cardio you did not agree to. But there is one group of people who hear sirens and think, all right, let's go, which is unsettling behavior. They pull up in massive red trucks. They hop out like it's a movie trailer. They grab long, thick hoses designed to handle extreme pressure. And again, that is not a joke. That is just physics. They aggressively spray hot situations and things until things calm down. Afterward, everyone says, thank you for handling that so well. That's hero language. These people wear outfits designed by someone who said, let's fight fire, dressed as furniture. They walk into smoke so thick, it looks like the fire is vaping. They stay calm while the rest of us lose our minds because the Wi-Fi blinked. At this point, you're thinking, okay, they're impressive, but why are they heroes? Not yet. Because being impressive isn't the same as being heroic. These people show up when homes are memories, streets are evacuation routes, the sky looks like it made a bad decision. They don't know whose house they're saving. They don't know what they'll lose. They just know someone else is having the worst day of their life. So why are firemen heroes in California? Because in a state where everything runs away from fire, they're the only ones who run toward it. Not because they're fearless, but because someone needs them more. That's why we clap. That's why they are our heroes. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and we are going live every single day of 2026. All right, take care, everybody.
So this is advice from a company called Happily.
Okay.
They provide a teleoperated remote control, basically. So I'm controlling the 6-axis arm with this controller. It's got 2 buttons. One is to track my path, so I hold this button down, I can move it around. this button down here is for the gripper motion, so you can see it activate just barely, right? And so with this demo, I can grab this steering wheel, but the main benefit of this device is actually haptic feedback. So if you want to give this a try, it's a relative motion control, so you grab this and you could drag it.
Okay.
Right, and then when you just get it here, it's again from its current position. You drive it down. So to get like a real sense of the haptic feedback, I would just try to drive this thing into the table.
Okay.
The top button.
The top button. I apply it and I move it around.
Yep. And you might have to do it in a couple steps. So let go, lift up, step again, and pull it back further down.
Right.
You feel that.
I feel that resistance.
So the main application here is when you're training a robot policy, you need data of demonstrations, like how does a robot actually pick up that, put it in a bin, for example. And you could do this in the real world with a platform like that, where you can operate 2 arms, or you could do it driving something in simulation, collect that data, throw it into a robot training policy. But it's kind of hard to pick that thing up without some sort of feedback. So what this hopes to solve is to enable better teleoperation in simulation.
So you're not just squeezing.
So you're not just, I think I'm there.
Yeah.
Let me grip it and see.
Real feedback.
You end up having to throw away that trajectory. You have to throw away that recording. But in this case, you have a lot better fidelity in how you collect this data.
It's amazing. What other applications would this be good for outside of manufacturing?
I would say what we're looking at is manipulation, right? So we're looking at currently an arm picking something up, putting it down. Where you see a lot of teleoperation is actually in autonomous driving and locomotion. Maybe not a device like this, but we're using Isaac Sim, NVIDIA product, or NVIDIA library, and we're using something called Cosmos. Cosmos, what we're doing is taking this data we've collected, changing lighting, changing textures, so that you can provide it, instead of this one demonstration, you can provide it 100 of them with different textures, different lighting, and give those 100 different episodes, 100.
Ready, bud? Strapped in.
Oh, he's got a little doggy seatbelt?
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
Precious cargo, bud.
There you go.
Let's roll.
That was an amazing speech over there.
Appreciate it.
And first off, where are you from? You have a great accent.
I am from Amsterdam.
Very cool.
A lot of people think it's more Irish or Scottish, but that's you've misspent in Irish pubs. It's Dutch
Awesome.
accent.
And you have an excellent sense of style and fashion. It's really cool.
Oh, appreciate that.
What inspired your...
This is the color of the season.
Okay.
It's a little bit brown, I think, together with purple, the main color. So I wanted to do something a little less blue jackets and shirts.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And what inspired you to get involved in marketing and AI to the extent that you have? Because you guys seem to be at the forefront and at the pinnacle of the industry.
I think we are now in year 26. My goal from a company perspective is I see it as a race to relevance. Right? You're constantly thinking about your relevance at the industry level for your clients and for your colleagues. So when we saw the ChatGPT moment 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, it was very clear that was going to be a large moment and lots of change, especially in our industry. So our commitment was, let's go figure that out fast and first. We don't quite know what it looks like on the other side, but we know we need to get there to stay relevant. So it's a little bit of existential realization, but it's also a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
What is missing now as far as AI and the human element? Is there something that just needs to be solved?
I mean, I think there is the models, and especially if you look at some of the releases over the last 2 months, you can feel the progress, and it's happening in lots of different places, reasoning, image, video, and so forth. But it all still feels a little disconnected. It can feel a little clunky. I think we're finding out that intelligence in a box doesn't have that much impact on the real world yet. So it's how do you take that intelligence, how do you make it part of your infrastructure, which then becomes change management conversations and organizational design conversations, and that's sort of the complexity of the real world. So my feeling is the technology is good enough, or will be good enough in a very short time frame. It's how do you adopt and adapt is the challenge.
I gotta ask a stupid question. Artificial intelligence.
Yes.
How did they get the name artificial?
I think it's a sci-fi concept, right? It feels like something that somebody made up 40, 50 years ago, I think.
Because if you play soccer and you play soccer on an artificial field, that's plastic grass rather than like grass.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is there ever going to be a name change?
Well, they had this AI have a branding issue, and this might be one of the issues. Everybody sort of talks about AI and then AGI, artificial general intelligence, or artificial superintelligence. I think we have to be thankful that there seems to be an unlock of available intelligence that we can use as humans or as organizations. Artificial, I think, is strange because it's been trained on humanity's knowledge and humanity's sort of reasoning and humanity's input. So maybe we're underselling it a little by calling it artificial. We'll see.
Amazing. And to end this, if there's one person that Monks is looking for, what type of individual would that be?
We're looking, and we're lucky enough to have all of those people on our team. We're looking for people that are excited by the moment. I think if you would describe what's now possible 5 years ago to anybody in our industry, people would go, that's amazing, give it all to me right now. And now that we have it, you see that there's actually quite a lot of anxiety around it. And there's pushback and there's worry. We have to be excited in the moment. So we're looking for people that are excited and because of that excitement are figuring things out. That's where we get our progress from.
Amazing. So if you are the best of the best, go to monks.com.
Love it.
So you're an amazing photographer. Can I ask you some questions? What do you look for whenever you're taking a photo?
I look for different angles, composition. I like to do what other people don't. Basically, get down them really low, right? Because no one takes pictures from this angle. Everybody's used to iPhone pictures, kind of waist high. So some of the looks that I think I achieve is pretty unique in a way because you're not really looking down up at cars, so kind of get different angles.
That's very cool. And what are you shooting on?
Nikon Z9. I really love it. I had a Z7 before. I still have it, and it's kind of like my backup camera, but this one fits my hand really well. It's a little bit heavier, but it's just more comfortable for all-day shooting.
Very nice. And if people want to find you, where do they look?
Quadrant X on Instagram, QUADRANTX.
Very cool. And has Nikon reached out to you yet?
They should. No.
They should. Nikon sponsor, John. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, what's up? I love your stuff. I've been shooting on it since forever. But yeah, my dad before me, and then me now. Yeah.
Lens of choice?
I like the 24-70, but I've been trying to shoot a lot with primes. They just have a different look. So 35s, 50s.
Very cool. Awesome. Best of luck, John.
Yeah, thank you.
You're like, don't harass me, man. Don't harass me. Enough for the videos. All right, so. And so what'd you bring out here today?
I got a 1973 Targa. It's a T, but it was built to an RS. So it has RS flares, an RS engine. Well, they built it to a 2.7 RS spec, so it's not a true RS, but it's trying to be. So yeah, it was rebuilt ground, bare metal restoration back in 2006, and it's changed hands a few times, several times through Auto Kennel with Paul, and most recently the guy that bought it from him sold it to me. So yeah, so it's been around the block when it comes to the SoCal Porsche scene, which has been pretty cool. I'm just owning it for like 3 months now. Yeah. So yeah, fun little car.
So you didn't have it last time I saw you?
Probably not. No, probably not. No.
And do you know the name of that color?
It's called, well, it's either Oxford or Dalmatian Blue. It's an interchangeable name. So actually on the COA it says Dalmatian, and then in parentheses it says Oxford.
Very
Blue.
nice.
Yeah. A lot of time it gets mistaken for a lot of different blues, but it's a blue.
Yeah.
It's a Porsche blue. So
You
I
have,
love
you have
blue
great
cars.
taste in your colors. Your other one, the gold one, I love
Yeah.
that one too.
Which gold? I think you got me mixed up with somebody.
No. You have the
Oh.
Widowmaker, no?
Yeah. So yeah, the gold one. So that
That's
one,
not gold.
It's linen
Linen.
gray. It's a linen gray. So it's like a gray. It's like you kept saying gold. I'm like, did I have a gold car? I don't remember having a gold car.
Well, the headlights are like yellow
Yes.
goldish
So
too.
the last time you
Okay.
saw that car, it had amber headlights, the yellow amberish headlights, and it had gold Epsilon wheels on it. So yeah,
That's where I got the gold from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The gold accented car. All right.
yeah. So but you know, in the sun, it looks like that really light, champagne color. But
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful color.
I still have that.
Nice.
Yeah, I still have that. And actually, I saw pictures. Since I've put the original wheels up back on that car and took off the yellow lenses. So I took it to Monterey for the Works reunion up there. So I wanted to be kind of back to original spec as close as possible for that show, thinking maybe I'd grab a place or something. No, so. And I've just been too lazy to put everything back on it. But now I saw pictures of Royce, one of the photographers here, did a photo book, and I saw pictures of it in that. I was like, I gotta put it back.
Looks good.
Yeah,
Looks good.
I like it. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna work on that when I get it back. It's going to the shop next week.
Okay.
Yeah, just minor stuff, but when it gets back, I'll probably put it all back to the way it was. Yeah, have it back out.
Time to get some repairs. Even timeless beauties need care.
Did you go up there with Andreas? Speaking of Andreas, the man himself.
Yeah. Mr. Hangover today. Yeah.
Still muted. All right, that makes much more. You got to stay hydrated. We got some good ones for you. We got some amazing ones coming up. I really do hope you are ready for this, because it's going to be just absolutely brilliant. Hear me now, you who scroll in the night, who wonder if love is a ship that drifts, or a ship that can be built. For men are not kept like coins in a purse. They are anchored by honor and held by a home where the spirit can rest. If you want a love that lasts, you do not hunt with tricks. You build a harbor, warm, steady, faithful, and you choose a man who is worthy to dock there. Type harbor in the chat if you're done with chaos love. And if this message lands, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share it with one woman who deserves peace. And we'll move forward with some quotes. Do not chase a man like wind. Chase a... Redo. Why not? You make mistakes, try to redo, try to rework. Do not chase a man like wind. Choose a man like stone, steady and worth your devotion. All right, we'll talk about the respect. A good woman speaks respect like bread, daily, quietly, and it strengthens the whole house. Talk about the encouragement. When a man returns wounded by the world, let your words be balm, not battle. And we'll talk about loyalty. Faithfulness is not a cage, it is a crown. It makes love royal. We'll talk about peace. Beauty turns heads, but peace makes a man stay. We'll talk about the soft power. A gentle tongue is not weakness. It is a steering oar. It guides storms into calm. We'll talk about the standards. Be warm, but not cheap. Be kind, but not broken. A queen does not bargain with disrespect. We'll talk about the partnership. Do not compete with your man. Complete the mission with him. 2 hands on one helm. We'll talk about the home. Let your home be a sanctuary, not a courtroom, a place where truth can breathe. We'll talk about the legacy. A woman becomes unforgettable when she turns love into courage, making a man braver than he was alone. And we could talk about a story arc. Sing, muse of the woman who guards the flame, not with jealousy, but with virtue. She is not loud with demands. She is loud with consistency. Her love is not a test. It is a standard. For she knows a man will cross oceans for the woman who makes him feel respected, supported, and at peace. So long as he is a man of honor who returns the gift. Stay to the end because I'm giving you the 5 vows that change a relationship instantly. The 5 pillars. Traditional, encouraging, faithful, inspiring, without losing yourself. Pillar 1, respect as a daily ritual. Respect is not worship, it is recognition. It says, I see your effort, I see your burden. I'm not your enemy. A strong man does not want a woman to bow. He wants a woman who believes he can carry the weight and who doesn't add stones to his pack for sport. Say this line on hard days. I'm on your team. Let's solve it, not fight each other. Pillar number 2. Oh, I'm a little off. Camera. Because I kind of like this lean. Encouragement that calls forth greatness. Pillar 2. Encouragement that calls forth greatness. A man becomes what he is praised for becoming, not flattery. Truthful encouragement. Not, you're perfect, but I see you trying. I respect your discipline. Keep going. That is how a woman turns a house into a kingdom, not by controlling the king, but by reminding him he is capable of the crown. Pillar number 3. Faithfulness is the shield of the relationship. It protects love from suspicion, from games, from outside noise. And if you want a man to give you his full heart, you cannot keep one foot in the exit. Loyalty is oxygen. Without it, love suffocates. Type loyal if you value peace over attention. Pillar number 4. Femininity as warmth, not weakness. Traditional femininity at its best is warmth, grace, softness, and strength under control. It is laughter when the world is heavy. It is kindness that doesn't disappear when you're stressed. It is beauty, yes, but also character. You don't win a man by being harsh and right. You win a man by being the place he can finally rest. Pillar number 5. Inspire him, but require worthiness. Here's the part most people skip. You can be an angel and still choose the wrong man, so let your love be inspiring, but let your standards be holy. Encourage a good man, stand beside a growing man, but do not carry a man who refuses to carry himself. A good woman doesn't keep a man, she builds a relationship. So true, it's so true that a good man wants to keep his promise. A good woman doesn't keep a man, she builds a relationship. So true that a good man wants to keep his promise. The 5 vows. Keep it real. If you want love that lasts, vow this: I will speak with respect even when I'm upset. I will encourage progress, not perfection. I will be faithful in action and in spirit. I will bring peace and I will demand respect. I will choose a man worthy of my devotion. Type vow if you want that kind of love. Obviously, this is directed toward the women who want to keep a man. If this helped you breathe and think clear, like so more women see it, subscribe, plus hit the bell. We do lives that build character and relationships. Share this with one woman who's tired of chaos and comment which quote hit you the hardest. 1 out of 10. May your love be a harbor, and may you never dock your heart where storms are worshipped. Hopefully that does actually help. All right, y'all, we're gonna move on to some great things here. This is going to be entertaining. Where did you go? All right, let's see. Did they send that video? Not yet, not yet. Okay. Got some notifications. That's good. Okay, here we go. One sec is on. Okay, good. And it feels like sometimes the women just don't get enough of enough guidance, like proper guidance, you know. So hopefully
I have a question.
This can kind of help with the situations. Let's have a listen and react to this one.
Question for you.
Yeah.
What do you do for your man?
Okay, yeah. So obviously, like I said, I cook and clean, do the laundry. That's pretty the typical stuff. But kind of like what you said, you want to make your house like a safe place for your husband to come.
If a woman can make a safe place, her house the safe place, that's pretty important. Like if the man is just struggling and worried, he's like, oh my God, you know what? I don't even know if I want to go home. I might do that unnecessary overtime just because I want to avoid arguments or avoid something. Man, she's hitting it right on the dot.
Come home to and just make him comfortable and serve him. So every morning and every night I literally massage him until he goes to bed. So every night I put my daughter to bed and then I massage my husband to sleep and then I go to sleep.
She puts her daughter to bed, she massages her husband to sleep, and then she goes to sleep. What a good woman. Like think to yourself from the man's perspective, like, is that something a man wants? Yeah, for sure. All you girls saying like, oh, it's so hard to find a good man. How good are you, girl? Come on. What type of effort are you putting into your relationship?
And that's what I do because he wakes up and he works hard to provide for the family. So my job is to make sure that he gets to sleep and has a good night's rest. So that's something I do. I fully trust him. That's a lesson that I've had to learn.
Trust is so important. And when she trusts a good man, it makes such a difference because she's not worried about stupid things. She doesn't have to be because there's trust there. Her life gets better, his life gets better. He doesn't need to deal with unnecessary things.
Because sometimes I've always had a strong personality and there's been times where I doubt his decision and I've had to learn the hard way that no, you need to trust your husband. And once I do and I fully trust him, I always realize, wow, he knows what's best for us. And I think that's something that men are really looking for in a woman is someone that can just fully trust them, just be led by them. You want a man that's a leader and that's what he truly is. And yeah.
Absolutely. Cannot disagree with her at all, honestly. And this part that she says.
The hard way that no, you need to trust your husband. And once I do this decision, and I've had to learn the hard way that and there's been times where I doubt and that I've had to learn because sometimes I've always had a strong personality.
She has a strong personality and she had to learn that. She had to learn that she had to trust her man. It's great. So this is actually what feminism should be.
Men are very simple creatures.
Men are very simple creatures. Sometimes great men can be called simps. Y'all know who I'm referring to if you guys watch the stream often.
I know that men do not respond well to being nagged. They don't respond to it at all. They don't respond to criticism.
Yeah. What's the reason to nag at a man and to criticize a man? Think about it. Like if there's constructive criticism and it's helping, okay. But just unnecessary criticism, like is it actually helping? Is that actually beneficial? Think about it.
They don't respond to like attitude. They don't want to, even if we're right.
Attitude. If a woman brings too much attitude, oof, that can be so painful. It'd be so painful to the relationship. It's just like,
having an attitude with a man is the worst thing you can ever do. You're never going to win unless you have a man with like truly absolutely no spine. And that's like not a relationship you want to be in anyways.
you know, when the girls have too much attitude with like mocking or eye rolling or, you know, talking down on a man or weaponizing tone, you know, you're thinking to yourself, This is really good. And did she ever learn to disagree respectfully? And what's she letting her emotions drive the car for?
Like, men respond to us being feminine. Like, that's to us.
That's absolutely true. Let the woman be the woman. Let the man be the man.
It's like coming to them with, in a calm voice and speaking our minds. Like, we have the.
It's so important to calm your voice as well, especially in a relationship, because that intensity can get really high really quick. So having that as a skill in your social tool bag is extremely important.
I truly believe that women are so. This is what feminism should be. Like, we are the most powerful. We are able to control situations by just being calm and being kind and being sweet. Yeah.
Calm, kind, and sweet. Absolutely. Which man doesn't want a woman to be calm, kind, and sweet?
Yeah. And that's all. I just know that. Like, I know what men respond to.
Yeah.
And it's never attitude. They don't want to hear it. And it just sounds like this to them.
100%. She's hitting it right on the head of the nail. She's swinging her hammer correctly right there. All right, let's talk about the power of writing your goals down.
I'm dead serious. Learn to write.
None other than JP the Great. One thing about Jordan Peterson, I saw him live in person, and just to see how incredibly knowledgeable this individual is just so inspiring. The way he spoke, the way he answered questions, and the way he held himself was just a work of art, something that was meticulously worked on, polished. Incredible, just so inspiring.
I'm dead serious, because writing is formalized thinking. Pick some hard problems and learn to write very, very carefully. And when I say pay attention to the word, I mean that.
Pay attention to the word. So important.
The right words. Organize them into the right phrases. Get your sentences straight. Hone your words. They're the most powerful thing about you, bar none. If you are an effective writer and speaker and communicator, you have all the authority and competence that there is. The best thing you can do is read and write every day, a couple of hours every day. Write about things you find important and see if you can discover what you believe to be true.
See if you can discover what you believe to be true. It is so important. And he's leading you in the correct path. He's saying, read and write about things that interest you. And he's trying to better society and people. How incredible is this human being? May the Lord bless Jordan Peterson and his family, his friends, his community, and the good people around him.
And that'll build you a foundation. And it's unbelievably practical. Like, if you look at people who are phenomenally successful across life, there's various reasons, but one of them is that they're unbelievably good at articulating what they're aiming at, and strategizing and negotiating and enticing people with a vision forward. It's like, get your words together, man. That makes you unstoppable. That's the core of the humanities, that idea. Get your words together. Make yourself an articulate creature.
Make yourself an articulate creature. He is absolutely correct. You know, today at the gas station, there was a racist guy who was just giving me some problems who worked there. And usually I just like brush over and just say like, oh, have a good day. But I wanted him to explain his exact situation towards me because I've been nothing but kind to this guy. And because he's a different race from me, I'm not going to become racist. Maybe he's having a bad day and he had a bad experience with someone who looked like me. And now I'm getting like the short end of the stick for no reason. But I would just like usually brush it off. But I decided to communicate with the guy and see actually what the issue was. And he was just so stubborn. And, I've met some great people who work at gas stations, but this guy was just very, very, very stubborn. I'll say stubborn. But also, I communicated with him and tried to understand his point, but it wasn't a valid point. But I didn't really give him attitude or disrespect him in any way, even though he did that to me. And I feel happier about that situation because in a way, it seemed like he was trying to waste my time. Like I go in there, try to get in, get out. I have so many things to do. If someone wants to mess around and have jokes and be fun, okay, cool. I can spend a few minutes with somebody and laugh a little bit. But when someone is just not being pushed by the winds of goodness, but they're being pushed by the winds of something else, then I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I don't need to waste my time. I don't need to waste my energy, but I can still be vocal and express what I believe and what I understand and try to understand this person's point of view.
And then you're deadly in the best possible way. And take that seriously.
Take that seriously. That's important. It's so important. Okay. All right. Shall we hear some beautiful sounds? I think we shall. Let's see what my frame is like. Oh, a decent frame, actually. I don't need to move it too much. Three things. Unreal. All right, so he's tuning while he's playing, like detuning and uptuning and downtuning. And then he's drumming on the guitar and he's hitting harmonics within these chords. This is just absolutely incredible. This person is unreal. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Dude, who is this guy? That guy is just unreal. Unreal. That is so inspiring. Some people have done so well in their life, and kudos to that, man. That is incredible. All right, let me redo. All right, so we have the cheat codes for women. This is for all those ladies out there who are just kind of
My husband, dad.
You know, everybody needs help once in a while. And let me just crop this in for you. That's good.
Daddy in the bedroom, and sir. I call my husband daddy in the bedroom, and sir when he's handling business. I am a wife. I am soft, and I am happier, wetter, richer, and more powerful than 99% of the so-called strong, independent women screaming at me online. Here's why. And the data that will never make you settle for a combative woman ever again.
Yeah, ladies, you want to be combative? Okay. But in the right situations. If you're always trying to fight your man, what's going to make him want to fight for you? Just curious. Think about it. Think about it. Like, what's going to make you want to fight for your man if he's always fighting you? It doesn't make sense, right?
Fact number 1. Women who feel led have 4 times more orgasms. Archives.
Women who are led have 4 times more of those than the women who are not.
Of sexual behavior in 2022. This is 15,000 women, okay? Found that women in relationships where the man is the undisputed leader report 4 times more orgasms per week, 70% higher sexual satisfaction, and 3 times more likely to actually initiate the sex themselves.
There you go. If you want to improve that part of your life, how do you do it?
Imagine that. What does this translate to? When she doesn't have to be the man, her body finally relaxes enough to flood. Fact number 2.
Yeah, that's one problem with women these days. They have that idea of like, they need to be the man. They are not a man genetically. What are you doing? Be a woman. Play your role so the man can play his role, you know? Be a team player. You gotta be a team player in life, y'all.
2. Egalitarian marriages die fastest. A 20-year University of Norway study showed that couples who split chores 50-50 and take turns leading have a divorce rate 50% higher than those where the man clearly leads. Why is this? Because the polarity collapses, the tension dies, and the bedroom gets cold. Fact.
That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Now, for the women, you know, let the man lead if he's a good leader. But if he's not a good leader, find a good man.
Number 3, masculine leadership creates feminine surrender and insane loyalty. It's as simple as that. When a woman feels her man is fully in charge of direction and protection, her oxytocin, her pair bonding hormone, spikes 300%. That is the same chemical that makes new mothers die for their babies. Give her that safety and she will burn cities before she ever betrays you.
Oh my gosh, just think about that.
This is what real submission looks like in my house. He makes the money. I have some side hustles, but when my husband walks through the door, I am barefoot, voice soft, eyes up. I ask, how do you want me tonight, baby? He tells me, I obey. And I fly so high, I forget my own name sometimes because I'm not carrying the whole world. He is. Call it unfair, I call it balance. That's not weakness. It's the smartest trade that I have ever made. Men, stop dating women who hiss at the word submit. They are showing you that they never truly relax around you, that they will never give you that wild, devotional, ride or die love that you are.
That's what men want. They want that wild, devotional, ride or die love, honestly. life can be tough, life can be cold. And if you have a lady next to you, it gives you a little bit more energy to fight and to be an even better person, to push that extra mile and make even more to make sure that the mouths are fed and everything's going well. But when they're out there and they're working hard, they have zero time for unnecessary phone calls, for unnecessary arguments, or any type of unnecessary argument at home. Honestly, when it gets to that point, everything has to be perfect and incredibly in tune and dialed like an F1 race. You can't overturn, you can't underturn, you can't understeer, you can't put too much gas, put too much brakes. When the man leads, the man leads. And you have to be passenger. And your role is just as important as the man's role.
Are craving. Find the woman strong enough to kneel, secure enough to call you a king without any sarcasm. That woman isn't broken. She is rare. She is peace, and she is the last 10 out of 10 that you are ever going to need. Protect.
Peace is extremely important in relationships. 100% so important. If a man has peace at home, oh my gosh, he has all of that energy to spend on overcoming obstacles and problems and situations in the world. So if you want a man, you need to bring peace into the household.
Her, lead her, own her, and watch her turn in your entire bloodline into legends. That's biblical, that's biological. That is the cheat code that has been erased. So take it back.
There you go. That's the cheat code, women. If you want a good man, this woman, she's giving you all the cheat codes. And as far as looks and those types of things, a real man, you know, of course, it matters a little bit. But what's even more important is her mentality and how she treats the man. That's extremely important. Here's another one for you ladies. We're giving you all the cheat codes.
You want to treat.
Let's see, what's my framing like over here?
Your husband the way the Bible says to, you won't be calling him baby or honey or even sweetie. You'd be calling him Lord. Yeah, don't roll your eyes yet. I will explain. When Sarah called Abraham Lord, she wasn't worshiping him. The word literally meant master or head of the household. It was her way of showing him respect and recognizing the divine order and position God placed in her home.
The divine order and position God placed in her home. Absolutely poetic. And respect. This is something to consider if you're serious about being a good woman.
She understood that how she spoke to her husband reflected how she honored God. See, because culture will teach you to be casual with your men, but heaven responds to honor. And when you speak to your husband with reverence, you're not lowering yourself, you're elevating your household and his position. So if you really want to do it God's way, shift your words. Speak to him like Sarah did, with respect, with faith, and with spiritual maturity, because when honor flows, favor follows.
Just imagine that. You're speaking to your man with that much respect. He's just right next to a wall called obligation, and he's obligated to give you that respect back. And maybe even more to see if it can be heightened. So the two of you can reach eternal bliss, the most amazingness on earth. You know, something even better than anything that's ever been experienced on earth. And that's the goal, right?
Try it and share it with a wife who's ready to bring heaven's order back into her home.
Heaven's order back into her home. She's giving you the cheat codes right here, y'all. girls, if you want to do it, it's a possibility.
And there is a prayer for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. While we're on this, how a woman can keep a man, we got another one for y'all. This is a good one.
Thing that drains a man faster than anything else. There's one thing that drains a man faster than anything else in a relationship.
Yeah.
And most women do it every single day without realizing.
Yeah.
It's not about what you're saying, it's how you're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
The tone of voice. A lot of women don't realize they've stopped using that soft, warm voice with their man.
Yeah.
Everything comes out sharp.
Soft, warm voice versus something sharp. Think about that. What do you want to listen to?
Complaining about this, nagging about that, bringing up what he didn't do. And when was the last time you said something genuinely positive?
Oh, genuinely positive. You want to keep your man? Start talking about things that are genuinely positive, that relate directly to him and to you and toward your future plans.
Not sarcastic, not backhanded, just appreciative. Most of the time it's 90% critical and maybe 10% positive, if that.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why he seems distant or checked out.
Yeah.
That
Distant or checked out. Yeah, absolutely. Women, if you don't want your man to be distant or checked out, think about what's going to draw him closer. That's so important. You need that in your life, right? He needs that in his life. What's stopping you from doing it?
constant negativity, it's draining. Every man needs a place where he feels safe, respected, and welcomed, not spoken to like he's already failed before he even tries.
Safe, respected, and welcomed. A man definitely needs that, 100%. Certainly.
Because when a man feels valued, he naturally gives more, loves harder, and shows up better, and it brings out the version of him you always wanted. Your
Loves more, shows up more.
man craves your softness,
Yeah.
your warmth. He needs to feel like you actually like him.
A man does need your softness and your warmth. It's so important. It's so important. And when a woman is doing the exact opposite and just being completely disrespectful or delusional, that warmth, that true warmth is just not there. And it's hard to explain, but you can sense it because you know each other so well. And a man can sense that. Okay, let's see what happens when the respect for a man leaves.
A woman.
What's the framing like? Very nice, but it could be nicer, right?
The moment a woman stops respecting her man, watch what happens to his attraction for her.
So important. So important. If a woman doesn't respect her man,
It doesn't fade slowly, it dies. And here's what nobody tells you about that. Respect is not optional.
it doesn't fade, it dies.
It's the foundation. A man can handle almost anything except being disrespected by the woman he's chosen. He stops giving freely because why would he pour into someone who treats him like he's not enough? When she stops seeing his effort and his discipline, when she starts taking shots at his character or questioning his decisions in front of others, that's not ego. That is self-preservation. And then she wonders where his affection went.
Yeah, where did the affection go? Obviously not to her, because she has no respect for him. He wouldn't have self-respect if he were to go forward with that, because that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all.
Where did the romance go?
Yeah.
Honey, he didn't change. He evolved into what your disrespect taught him to become. You trained him to protect his energy instead of giving freely.
Right.
That's not punishment. That is chemistry.
You trained him to protect his energy. So basically, that whole thing about yapping and nagging, and the dudes just turn on that filter on their ear where, like, whatever frequency she's speaking at, you're like, oh, we'll just drop that down so I can't really hear that, because that's damaging. That's not fun. It's not good. It's not healthy. If you're doing that to your man, you're not rowing in the same direction as your man. And y'all are obviously on the same boat. You both have 2 oars. You're both rowing. And you might as well wait a minute, stop rowing for a second and say, hey, what do we want to do over here? You want to row this way together? Or do you want to do something else? Figure it out.
When respect dies, attraction dies. Every time. Bring back the admiration, bring back the gratitude, or watch him pull back further.
She's absolutely right. Absolutely correct. 100%.
Headaches, remember?
Do you have a headache? Oh. All right. Well, maybe there's a solution you need to hear about.
Majority of headaches, remember, headaches, guys, remember this. There are no pain receptors in the brain. Brain surgery is painless.
Oh.
Right? So the brain is not capable of sending a pain signal. So where does the signal come from? It comes from the covering of the brain called the dura. The dura hates 2 things. It hates being stretched and it hates being contracted. 85% of all the migraine sufferers that I've ever treated had a simple clinical deficiency in sodium.
Salt.
I have them drink salt water and their headaches go into permanent remission. Because
Sodium
we are
and
not
salt.
hydrated when we have water in our blood. We're hydrated when we have water in our tissues. And what determines whether or not water leaves the blood and enters the tissue is the sodium gradient. It's called osmosis.
Oh,
so if
okay.
we actually restore the sodium gradient, that dura starts to relax and the pain goes away. Majority of headaches, remember.
There you go.
Headaches,
so if
guys.
you have a headache, drink sodium salt water, and that'll get rid of your headaches. We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. And for all you builders out there, we got a good one here. This is a fascinating one, and I think you're going to love it.
This is a tricky situation. This is amateur hour at the Chuckle Hut, and this is top level pro. Let me show you how I did it. You can do a pretty good job with a scribing compass, but if you want that fit that snaps in, you need a contour gauge.
There's a lock up
Slide
here.
those into
Check it
all the
out.
nooks and crannies.
Wham, locked.
Transfer it onto your baseboard. Cut that out with a scrolling jigsaw blade. Finish it up with a little belt sander or a hand sander. Give it a little bit of a back bevel. This is a trick.
That's just absolutely incredible. I love these videos and these little hacks because look at all these imperfections. Like, how long is it going to take you to find that contour? And those little tools are super simple. And yeah, this is the last video of the night. And I just want to tell you that I love you. The Lord loves you. And we're going to be back next time. So make sure that you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications because YouTube hides all these lives. And yeah, we want to make it great. And tomorrow's live is going to be super exciting. I can tell you that much. So until next